how a CIA base works. I gotta fast forward the video a little bit.
Jane Smith is sitting on a Lufthansa machine bound to Frankfurt, Germany. She empties her second glass of red wine and fastens her seatbelt because the plane is about to land. When Jane exits the aircraft, she goes straight to customs. She shows the officer her American passport. It's black. "Why are you here?" the officer asks. "Supporting technical consultations at the consulate," Jane responds. The officer stamps her passport and she passes through. Jane grabs some euros from an ATM, takes a cab to a nearby hotel, and checks in. You see, Jane lied a little just now during the customs check. She is not working for a consulate, and despite her passport, she is no diplomat. Jane is a CIA agent, a hacker. She is visiting a covert base of her agency, secretly set up within the American consulate in Frankfurt. But this base, in the heart of Europe, is just one of a giant network spanning all across the globe. What are their functions? And how do these bases operate on foreign territory?
CIA's global hacking program.
Spy stations, Methoden der CIA.
What are the Americans doing here?
Jane enters the hotel room and drops off her bags. She was prepared for this trip. She's been given instructions on how to get around in Frankfurt. Stores are closed on Sunday, gas stations are not a good place for fine dining, stuff like that. We all know this thanks to the extensive leaks called Vault 7 from a few years back. Generally, this video largely relies on leaked information and statements of retired agents. It was a 9-hour flight from Washington, D.C. to Frankfurt. Jane is pretty exhausted and takes a shower. She is very careful not to leave anything that could identify her unattended. She takes her phone and laptop with her to the bathroom. Freshly dressed, Jane takes the U5 subway towards Pollingesheim. She gets off at Gießener Straße, just a few hundred meters north from the consulate. Frankfurt hosts the largest US consulate in the world. Officially, it is serving American residents in the region, but in truth, it is doing much more than that. At the main gate, Jane shows her black passport and is handed a yellow visitor's badge. She follows the signs to the employee entrance alongside the consulate building on the left. Jane holds up her yellow badge at the door and is buzzed into the building by a guard. Inside the building, Jane walks through a number of corridors and through a large heavy door to Post 1. A US Marine is waiting behind a glass window. Jane gives her the yellow badge and she gets a blue one instead. Jane can finally enter her new office and get to work. She calls her person of contact and gets to know the other agents at the station. In 2013, news broke that the US spied on then German Chancellor Angela Merkel's private phone for over 10 years.
The NSA may have been spying on Chancellor Angela Merkel.
A spokesman for the German leader described the idea as
Totally unacceptable.
The operation was run by the so-called Special Collection Service, a spy unit of the NSA and CIA. Officially, it does not exist. Unofficially, it is running spy operations from almost 100...
Yo, Chad. If I feel like that we might think that government is stupid. What are they doing? It's a flipping loss of the country. They're gonna flipping kill the democracy or something like that. Bro, these guys are actually pretty smart. I know they're just working for money. They are just getting rich by themselves and their co-workers, like in political parties. But these guys are actually genuinely smart. We might think they are dumb, but they are not.
US embassies all across the world, including Frankfurt. But Jane works for another unit here. She works for the European branch of the Center for Cyber Intelligence, the CIA's hacking division. Jane and others are developing cyber weapons. There are over 1,000 hacking systems and several hundred million lines of code in the CIA's arsenal. Some of these hacking tools are extremely powerful. The CIA could turn devices from Apple, Google, Samsung, and many others into secret microphones. There are tools that bypass encryption from messages.
I know this, bro. They do this sometimes. They like tap your device and listens to their conversation.
Like WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegram, allowing the agency to collect text and voice messages. But there are also attack systems like fine dining, which only work from up close. This is where Frankfurt's strategic location comes into play. The Schengen Agreement allows Jane to travel from Frankfurt.
So this is not a joke. CIA actually can tap your phone and get your WhatsApp messages and stuff. But they say it's encrypted. What?
Almost any European country without border control. If Jane wanted to penetrate high security targets that are not connected to
So
the
are they not encrypted or like our WhatsApp messages or Snapchat messages? It's crazy.
internet, she could simply take a train, stick a USB drive loaded with malware into a target PC, and be back in Frankfurt by supper. Jane is a very talented hacker. If one day she decided to leave the CIA, she could have a very promising career as a cybersecurity expert. All she'd have to do is build a portfolio and launch her own website. Unfortunately, Jane is not very creative when it comes to designing. Luckily, she doesn't have to be. There is a fast, easy, and intuitive way to build a website with our sponsor, Odoo. Odoo is an all-in-one management platform that lets you build a great-looking website in minutes. Just answer a few quick questions, select a theme you like, and customize it to your needs. Simply drag and drop blocks to add images or text. If you, like Jane, are out of creative ideas, AI can help you. With Odoo's intuitive website malt whiskey with the remaining euros in the duty-free shop at the airport, Jane's
Yay, sponsor.
next destination is Australia.
Hey, what do you mean?
Jane
Wait.
gets off the next. If you do web, first app is free at the base for a time nap when she gets a phone call. Her superiors need her expertise at another location. She says goodbye to her colleagues, checks out of her hotel room, and buys a single malt whiskey with her remaining euros in the duty-free shop at the airport. Jane's next destination is Australia.
Dang, this is so cool, right? My job is finished. I gotta leave the country now. See ya.
Officially. In fact, the CIA has built an entire fake city. There are multiple houses and dormitories for students and staff. For training, the site has several shooting ranges, boathouses at the river, driving courses, and an airfield. Students learn everything they need to know about life as a secret agent in the field, from basic weapons trainings all the way to the handling of explosives, how to evade pursuers, and field surveillance. Students practice how to infiltrate a border that is tightly guarded by watchtowers and police dogs. Enemy capture is simulated by kidnapping students from their dorm and interrogating them. There is even a mock prison where students learn how to deal with solitary confinement. If training needs to be even more hardcore, students are brought to Harvey Point, just a few hours south of the farm. This is the place where, among other things, the operation to kill Osama bin Laden was planned.
Dang it, Chad. If this guy makes this video, like how CIA base works, this might sound absurd, but someone at the CIA is probably watching this video as a part of the job. I know that. I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that the CIA will be watching this. This guy will be on watch now. How this guy has so much information about CIA? We gotta watch him.
Jane stands in front of a customs officer at the Australian airport. She remembers how to survive secondary screening. According to a CIA training manual, the two most common questions in this situation are why are you here and where are you staying? Jane learned how to maintain her cover, no matter what. When asked, Jane gives a quick and concise answer. No pause and no delaying sounds between questions and response, just as the manual says. She knows that any
But it's cool, like you cannot detect if a person is CIA agent.
unnecessary information or overly specific answers might lengthen the interview, so she keeps it short and simple. She tries to stay calm. No swallowing, no lip biting, nothing that can make her seem nervous. And it works. After a few minutes, the officer hands Jane her passport, and she's free to enter the country.
A casino full of agents? Dang it, I won't be able to see this chapter, chat. I gotta end the stream now. This video is good, chat. If you want to watch the complete video, I'll share the link in the chat.